My name's Cade Chamblin. I'm 18 years old and I live in Shawnee, Oklahoma. I wrestle for Shawnee High School. I have a 3.5 GPA and my projected weight class is 160. Within the community, I kind of do leadership, NHS, which is National Honor Society, and the team, we go out and help out around the community, help pick up branches and all kinds of stuff like that just to help out. Oh, what I love about wrestling is the fight. You go out there with another guy and you're just at a constant battle with him for 6 minutes, and not even just with him, you're with yourself too, to keep moving, keep working, always score, positions, stuff like that. And in the practice room, it's the same thing. You're going with your partner who's from the same school, but I mean, you're still fighting to work and be better and help your partner be better and stuff like that. So it's a great sport. The sport of wrestling has allowed me to just work really hard. I feel like I work hard in the classroom, outside of the classroom, in the wrestling room, anywhere I go, because of wrestling and how I've grown up always working in the wrestling room. It kind of helps you go out and work hard in anything you do, and pretty much everything you do, really. So it really helps. To be a Shawnee wrestler means to, I guess, work hard on the mat, always fight when you're against your opponent, banging, going hard. And off the mat, it means doing the right things, keeping your grades up, not getting in trouble, being somebody the community looks up to, and just a good person overall.
Time to show the world the top is what I strive for. Greatness is a journey I'm willing to stride for. Consistency is key and I don't take no time off. Against the odds, I put it all on the line for a lesson learned for every flaw I'm gonna make. Consequence I undertake, putting all my trust in faith. Failure won't become my fate. 10 toes down, I never fold. Give it all to reach my goal. As my name is stone, when my story's told. Say I did it for the. On the battlefield there lies a warrior. Many tried and failed, but I remain victorious. Strip away my fame, all the money, glamour, and gold, but you can never take my soul. No, I'm in it for the glory. I'm in it for the glory.
What has wrestling done for Cade?
Well, wrestling's been a big part of Cade's life. He's created friendships that'll last a lifetime. This program has loved him when he needed loved, and it has scolded him when he needed scolded. But as far as what it's done for him, wrestling's done for him, I think it's helped him become a man. He's a young man right now, and that's what I think the programs did for him in wrestling. He's had some success, he's had some ups and downs, both in wrestling, and I think it's taught him a lot of life lessons, how to get back up when you have defeats, how to be gracious when you get a win. Just in general, I think it's helped him become a good young man.
Well, Cade was kind of born into wrestling since his dad was the coach when he was born, and his older brother was wrestling, and his sister was a manager. Cade might as well have just been born right there on the wrestling mat. Cade has the personality to just roll with the flow, and so he was in a carrier with a diaper bag on my shoulder, and we were hitting tournaments. For high school, we were hitting tournaments at the elementary level, and that kid has been around the wrestling mat since day one. Cade is a team player. Cade will always do his part. If he's asked to accomplish a task, Cade will always be the one who will show up, and he will do what he needs to do to get things done. He's that way in the wrestling room. He's that way as a friend. He's that way at home. Cade is just a committed kind of a kid, and we really appreciate that as parents, that he can already show as an 18-year-old young man that commitment is one of those things that he sees as an important role in his life. When your kid gets on the mat, it's a proud mama moment. You feel every one of their moves right here in your heart. And the wins and the losses you take to heart. So to watch your kid on the mat, it's a pretty special thing.
I'm in it for the glory. 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 Going up, yeah we going up. Take it to the sky, going up, yeah we going up. Glory on the rise. Look where I came, look where I'm gone. My second wind, I feel reborn. Just heating up, just getting warm. They had their rain, I came to storm. Overcome obstacles when I perform. They feel impossible, I take it on. If you're not willing to risk what is average, you're gonna settle for what is the norm. Can you feel it? Watch before the honor, what I pledge. Do you feel it? Not afraid to jump over the ledge. Perseverance. Just play with problems are ahead. Others inspired to be avaricious, but instead I want the glory. You can keep the cash, I want the credit. Immortality is being remembered when you exit. Confidence is key. Anything I want, I'ma get in my control. Failure can only manifest if I let it. Show them I'm a warrior, develop through it all. Made it out the rebel, I survive in any war. Know that there's a win outside of every single loss. Make it known when my story comes across that I did it for the. On the battlefield there lies a real warrior. Many tried and failed, but I remain victorious. Strip away my fame, all the money, glamour, and gold. But you can never take my soul, no. I'm in it for the glory. I'm in it for the glory. I'm in it for the glory.
All right, man, we're here to talk about Cade. Cade Chamblin. What kind of person is he as a wrestler?
What kind of person is Cade Chamblin? Man, Cade overall is just a great person, great kid. Man, anytime you need help with anything, Cade would be down to help you. You know, anything you need. Like, that dude would come running, that dude would always help you out. Anytime I'm showing a move, I typically use Cade. He's been around the sport for a while. He knows how to move his body. He's really, honestly, he's really tough, but he's not as mean. So I think that kind of affects him sometimes in his wrestling, because like, he's tough enough to, you know, get his head in there and block shots and take stuff. But then like, sometimes when he might have the opportunity to kind of like really get on a kid's shoulder and twerk it over, he might not just quite be as mean with it. So I think that just comes down to, he's just a really nice kid. Like, that's just what I think of when I think of Cade, just a good overall person. He's always really trying to learn. You can tell he really wants to learn. Anytime I'm showing a technique, Cade usually has a question about it, you know? He's always thinking about it. I show the move and you can kind of see him pondering, and then he'll, you know, ask a question. And the dude works really hard, extremely hard. We put him with our hardest workers around his weight class. He works with Spencer, he works with Jordan, he even works with, you know, Showtime, who's a weight class above him. And, you know, Cade works his tail off, and, you know, that's why you really want to see that success for him. You know, Cade is just always down to help. Like, anytime that we have like a community service event or anything like that, Cade's there. He doesn't complain, he stays till the end. He works his tail off just like he does in the wrestling room. Classroom, I have no issues with him. I don't even think he's ever been close to being ineligible. I think, you know, his mother being a teacher probably has something to do with that, and his father being a retired teacher, but at the same time, like, Cade just has tremendous work ethic. And, you know, like I said, I just really hope that he can live up to his potential. Doesn't have to do anything spectacular, doesn't have to do anything crazy, just has to go beat Cade Chamblin. I feel like with Cade, what he's gotten out of this sport of wrestling, is what everybody can get out of it. He's learned, you know, how to work hard. He has perseverance. He has learned that commitment really pays off. Also, like, he has a lot of pressure on him, man. His dad was a state champion, individual state champion, and also won a team state championship with the Shawnee Wolves. And then, you know, he's a legacy. His dad was also the head coach for over a decade. So Cade had a lot of external pressure on him, and not necessarily from like his dad, but just from the legacy, you know, of trying to live up to those expectations. And Coach Chamblin, I think, does a great job of balancing it. It's been really cool the last 2 years to come in and watch how he's attempted to do that. You know, am I being too hard on him? Am I being too soft on him? And it'd be really hard to find that balance. And, you know, I've learned a lot just from watching their interactions about how I'd like to handle, you know, my son if I have one day. And especially if he ends up wrestling and trying to coach him and stuff like that. And it's really cool because we actually did, obviously, the first interview the other day, and the audio cut out. And I think everything happens for a reason, because that was Thursday night. And Friday, the next day, you know, Cade won both of his matches at the tournament, and then he was in the semifinals. And then Saturday, he won in the semis and he made it to the finals. He lost in the finals, but he wrestled his tail off. And it's just a testament to the work that he's done. And I was so happy and proud of him and happy for him that he got to make it to the finals, and he was a finalist for us, and obviously he got runner-up at the tournament, which you always want to be the champion, but you can't, you know, hang your hat on or, you know, be upset with being a runner-up. You know, it's always, everybody wants to make it to the finals. So I was happy that he got to have some success and see that his hard work is paying off. And like I said, you don't have to be a champion to get something out of wrestling. You don't have to be a state champion to get something out of wrestling. You're always going to get something out of wrestling. And I think the one thing that anybody can get is just learning that hard work pays off overall. And Cade is a person that works and works and works, asks questions, does his best. And I think another reason, if Cade ever thought about, you know, quitting, which we all think about quitting when things get hard, is I really appreciate the fact that I think part of the reason he stuck around is because of his father, because, you know, everybody wants to make their dad proud, and Cade understands that it's not about winning and losing that makes his dad proud. It's about working his tail off, and that's what he comes in and does every single day. So, great kid.